Guys, we're back with the Screen Team. We are doing movie musicals for you, and we've got Hillary on the show. It's her first time. She's doing an awesome job, and she's bringing some heavy hitters with her. We've done Meet Me in St. Louis. We've done Moulin Rouge, and this next film is a film that came out when I was a young lad. I don't even know if Hillary was born yet when this movie came out, but it's called The Newsies. And this was a film that was produced and directed by the folks over at Disney. Mm-hmm. And what I didn't know was this movie starred a very young Christian Bale.
Yes.
I was like, Christian Bale's in this? Batman is in The Newsies?
No, he's Jack Kelly in The Newsies. I will never know him as Batman. I know he is, but when I saw the first Batman that he shot, I said, oh, Jack Kelly.
No, he's Batman.
No.
Oh, man.
Batman doesn't do the pelvic thrust that Jack Kelly does. He doesn't dance like Jack Kelly does.
Wow, that's twice you've made me do that. All right, so let's talk about The Newsies. Where are we at? The 1930s, 1920s? What's going on?
1899, New York City.
I was close. I was very, very close. And I just watched the movie a couple days ago. I think it's better if you give a little bit more of the description. What's going on with The Newsies?
Okay, so this movie is about a group of boys, mm-hmm. and they're all teenagers and younger. There's a lot of kids out there who are like 6 or 7, and they're basically hustling newspapers. They purchase them from the popular New York papers at the time, and they purchase a bundle. Yeah. Then they go out on the streets and try and sell them. And
I couldn't believe what big business that was, or how not just that, but how important these young boys were mm-hmm. for that business.
Well, that is during a time in America where a lot of blue-collar work thrived on child labor.
Yeah.
So, and especially the newspaper industry, because I think it would be rare when you would see a grown adult man selling a newspaper on a corner.
Sure.
Or that was my impression anyway. I might be wrong, but they did use a lot of young people. And so basically they're selling these newspapers, and then it was Joseph Pulitzer's paper that decides to raise the prices because he wants to make more money. He's in competition with Hearst. Yes, with Hearst. And so he's trying to make more profit than him and become the ultimate New York newspaper. Yeah. And so he raises the prices of the papers for sale for the Newsies. And they're all complaining about it, and they're going to get less money in their pocket and everything. And so one thing leads to another, and they all decide to strike. And it is one of the things that helped to lead to the child labor laws we have today.
Sure.
I think so.
And Christian Bale's character was a big part of that strike and helping get those laws enforced, correct?
Yes. It was. He befriended these two brothers and their sister, mm-hmm. And he is like the mouthpiece. He's the charisma behind the whole thing. He is the uniting force. And then it's David, played by something Moscow.
I'm trying to find it for you.
Anyway, it's David is his character's name, and he's the brains behind it. He's the one. His father had worked in a factory and had a union protecting him. David Moscow.
Yep,
it's David
you're right.
in the show. Great. So anyway, he knows how unions work, and so it's all part of the strike song, "The World Will Know," and the whole number starts, and they're in the street, and they're by this statue, and David's feeding him all the lines that Jack Kelly is telling to the whole audience. Yeah. And I mean, everything that David tells Jack, he just makes it this huge impassioned plea, and they unite all of the Newsies throughout the 5 boroughs of New York
even
for
Brooklyn.
Their cause. Even Brooklyn.
That's
Scott
right.
Conlon.
There's a lot of heavyweights as far as acting in this. We mentioned Christian Bale earlier, but also Robert Duvall, who plays Pulitzer, is in this, and Margaret, the classic Anne Margaret's in this as well, and she does a couple of musical numbers too, right?
Yes, she plays Meta Larkin, and she's kind of just like a little showgirl.
Sure.
And yeah, the Newsies actually, well, not all the Newsies. I think it's just Les, which is the little brother of David and Jack. They all go and seek refuge at Meta's place while they're running away from the juvenile cops, I guess. I don't know what their title is off the top of my head, but Jack Kelly's also running away from this guy who runs the refuge, and it's sort of like the juvenile detention center.
Sure.
So
Bill Pullman also has a part in this. He plays Denton, and he is kind of like the only adult who's kind of on their side, or at least helping spread the word about what they're doing.
Yes, he overhears kind of what they're talking about, and he works for a newspaper, and he's trying to share their story because he sees that this is something that's important. This is something that's going to change the future of the children who work in New York City. So he's a really big confidant for them, and tries to help them.
So Hillary, I know you like this movie. I can tell. I can tell that you like this movie. Does this movie still hold up today?
Yeah, this is one I do kind of still watch on a regular basis. Yes. And I think when we first saw it, we had taped it off of when Disney used to do their free channel previews, because it used to be subscription like HBO. And my sister, I think, had actually asked my mom to record it, and I was maybe 4 or 5 when it came out.
Yeah.
I think it came out in like 92, 93.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Yep. So it still holds up for Hillary today.
It
the
does.
Newsies.
The dancing is great, I promise.
All right, Hillary. So let's talk about the stage company one more time before you go. A lot of stuff going on in 2018, 2019, the brand new year. Talk about the first production coming up. It's The Odd Couple, correct?
Right. It'll be. I think it's by Neil Simon, and I think we are going with the traditional production of it. So if you're familiar with the Odd Couple TV show, the sitcom from back in the day, I think this will be one for you.
And then Christmas time, we've got a big Christmas production, correct?
Yes, we'll have Laura Ingalls Wilder Christmas, and you'll want to come out and see what may have conspired during the 2 years that Laura Ingalls Wilder did not write about in her life.
And then you guys are going a little horror, a little murder mystery in, spring of 2019?
Yeah, I think we're shooting for March.
Okay.
The dates haven't been nailed down yet for any
Sure.
of these quite yet, but that'll be a good if you like murder mysteries or detective novels or anything sort of dark like that. This might be the play for you.
Then you guys are finishing up with a grand musical, South Pacific.
Yes.
So a lot of exciting stuff. Are you going to be in any of these plays?
I hope to be. That's all up to the director.
Tryouts haven't happened yet, of course. No. Okay. So what if there's people out there listening or watching right now? They're like, you know what? I'd like to try out for South Pacific or The Odd Couple, or I want to maybe be behind the scenes doing stuff. How do they go about doing that?
Check us out on Facebook. We usually post audition announcements there first. We will be updating our website with our new season's information very soon. If you are interested in helping out with anything backstage, we do need people who are interested in running a light board and soundboard.
Cool.
We are definitely in need of people with those kinds of talents we'd like to add to our roster of techie people.
Sure.
So anytime you're interested, if there's a certain production you're interested in helping out on, you can either shoot our business page a message, or we do have an email address. It's stagecopbmo@gmail.com, and you can email us anytime, and we'll be happy to make arrangements for you to help us out.
Sounds good. Any plan to bring these 3 musicals to the stage company?
Oh, I would love it. I would love it.
Maybe someday.
I hope so.
Maybe someday. Hillary, it's been a pleasure doing these reviews with you. Would you come back sometime?
Yeah, sure.
Awesome.
Have me.
All right, that's Hillary. I'm Chris. We are all part of the Screen Team, and remember, we want you to know before you go.